What's up, y'all? Marcus Frazier from Teachable Tuesdays here to motivate you, encourage you, and inspire you to be a better you. Thank you for joining me today, tonight, or this afternoon, whenever you're watching this video. Greatly appreciate it. If you could, please go ahead and leave a like, a comment below, and make sure you subscribe to my channel to stay up to date with all my future content, Teachable Tuesdays, discussions, and lessons. And without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started. But before that, actually, let me give you guys a quick update. I am officially COVID-free. Thank you guys for those that prayed for me, sent well wishes for me, all that good stuff. As you guys know from my last video, I had went in for a COVID test. I did test positive at the time being, but as of this recording, I am definitely good. No symptoms whatsoever. And yeah, I'm very excited to finally be back out and doing things after quarantining. Because let me tell you something, isolation ain't no joke. You know what I'm saying? Especially for us extroverts. For introverts, I know y'all like, man, whatever. I could just go ahead and do my own thing. I like my own space anyway. I like to be by myself in some cases anyways. But for, those that like to be social, that joint trash. For real. But again, thank you guys. Greatly appreciate it. Make sure you out there taking care of yourself. Getting plenty of vitamin C, elderberry, zinc, taking care of your immune system, getting plenty of rest, wearing your mask when you're indoors, and all that good stuff. And listen, we over this pandemic, but we gonna get through it one way or another. But anyways, this series that we're gonna be talking about today, it's gonna be a 2-week series actually. It's called Self-Sabotage. And one of the reasons why I wanted to talk about this is because I've seen so many people, and I've heard so many people as well, deal with this issue, and they don't quite understand why. So this week, I'm going to spend time talking to you guys about what self-sabotage is and what it looks like. And then next week, we're going to go into more detail as to how you can avoid self-sabotage, or better yet, how can you manage it if you've already done it, okay? So this week, strictly going to be about the definition of self-sabotage and what it looks like. So self-sabotage. It's pretty much a nicer way of saying you did this to yourself. Now, first of all, I would hope that people wouldn't say you did this to yourself, but the reality is oftentimes when things go wrong, we do it to ourselves. It is self-inflicted damage. It is things that can be prevented, but we choose not to prevent it due to a number of reasons. It could be our insecurities. It could be our fears. It could be just life. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times when you self-sabotage something that you're involved in or something that's going for you, it's often a defense mechanism. I know I talked about this last year in one of my YouTube channels. One of my YouTube videos with the whole when a woman thinks it's too good to be true concept. That could be looked at as a form of self-sabotage. When you think something is too good to be true for you, but the reality is, it is actually for you, but because you don't believe it, you end up kind of messing things up before it even starts. You know what I'm saying? And we all do it. It happens to all of us. At one point or another, all of us have been in a situation where we self-sabotage. So self-sabotage is basically you messing up something good that's going for your life, and you being solely responsible for that matter of you messing it up. I'll give you an example, right? Let's say you're getting to know somebody, right? And things seem to be going really well. All of a sudden, they do something that's not really necessarily a bad thing, but it's kind of a trigger based on what may be a traumatizing event in your past. So now all of a sudden you go into defense mode and you start pushing them away. And before, things even get better, or the person even has a chance to kind of explain what's going on and whatnot. That's a form of self-sabotage. That's essentially you messing up something before, something fully takes place. Or I'll give you another example. Let's say you have an opportunity to present at a conference, right? Let's say your boss says, hey, I really like what you've been doing lately. You have been doing awesome. I want you to present this big conference that's coming up, right? But you in your mind, you feel like, I can't do this. I'm not good enough. So you know what? I'm going to just back out. I'm going to bow out, right? And you tell your boss, I don't want to do this. I can't do this. I'm not good enough, blah, blah, blah. You self-sabotage an opportunity because you didn't even give yourself a chance to see if you could do it or not. And I think that's the key when it comes to self-sabotage, when you don't even give yourself a chance to go for it. And granted, sometimes we put up these defense mechanisms, and maybe every once in a while, they do work out to our benefit. You back out and then you find out later on something really bad was going to happen if you would have went through with it. Okay, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt on that one. But more often than not, when we self-sabotage things, we end up ruining good things that could be for us before they even have a chance to develop. You ever heard the term in football or in sports in general, sometimes you just got to wait and let the play develop? It's the same thing in life. Sometimes you just got to take a step back for a quick second and let the play develop. Not saying that you got to wait too long for it, because sometimes if you wait too long, you can miss your opportunity there as well. But see what's going to take place. See what's going to happen. See what's going to occur. And then when you do that, you give yourself a fighting chance at something really well, right? So those are a couple of examples of what self-sabotage looks like. Now, the question is, why do people self-sabotage? Well, for many reasons. Some of the reasons, as I explained, it's because of fear. People are scared. People are scared of the unknown. All of us are, myself included. So what we do is, because we're scared of the unknown, we typically back out and bow out because we want to roll with familiar territory. So that's one thing. Another thing is insecurities. We don't think we're good enough for something. And we allow insecurities to get the best of us, you know? Which can also tie into familiar trauma territory. What is familiar trauma territory? You see something, and because it looks identical to what you've been through that caused you trauma in the past, your mind automatically goes to fight or flight mode. So for example, let's say, let's say I've gotten hit by a car, right? And I got my leg broke because I got hit by a car. And let's say it was not any old car. Let's say it was a truck, right? So that could be a very traumatic experience for me. Let's say I recover, right? And I see that same truck, maybe not that same exact truck, but a very similar truck, and I get PTSD. You know, that could put me in a fight or flight response because that was a traumatic experience for me. You know, I've never broken a bone in my body, but for those of you who've ever broke something or fractured something, I can imagine it's not a good feeling. It's not a pleasant experience, right? And that's really about it. I'll say fear, insecurities, traumatic experiences. And I would also say just uncertainty. Self-sabotage could come from that as well. When you're uncertain about something and you're not sure if you should move forward with something or not, you could cause self-sabotage that way as well. And the reason why you cause self-sabotage with uncertainty is because you really get to a point where every human being on this planet wants to be certain about something. And when you're not certain about it, it makes you do things that you're not used to. So for example, if you're uncertain about making a decision when it comes to a job, you more than likely may end up self-sabotaging a job opportunity because you don't have it locked in. So you feel like it's not as much of a risk for you to kind of do what you want to do to not obtain that job. You know what I'm saying? Or let's say you're uncertain about an individual that you might be wanting to date. You might self-sabotage that because you could be thinking of different bad scenarios that could be happening before the relationship has a chance to even develop, you know? And again, all these examples have happened to every single one of us. So that's pretty much what self-sabotage is. That's what it looks like. Those are different examples. There's so many different examples I could go in about self-sabotage. But that's about it for this discussion. Next week, we're going to be talking about what can we do to prevent self-sabotage, or how can we manage it once it's already done? How can we fix it? You know, hopefully I left you guys with some, ideas and examples to kind of think on and whatnot. Honestly, I love this subject. This is something that I could talk about all day long. I love the psychological thoughts behind the process of why self-sabotage is a thing, why people do it, what can we do to improve it. It's really awesome. I really didn't start learning about self-sabotage until last year, and I got some stories. And maybe next week I'll get more into some of the stories I have as well when we start talking about what can we do to manage self-sabotage or prevent it altogether. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed that video. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already done so, leave a comment, share it on social media. And again, this is Marcus Frazier from Teachable Tuesdays, here to motivate you, encourage you, and inspire you to be a better you. I love you. Hope you guys have a great night.